Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Ukulele Jam Kit. This is the first of 4 weekly parts which include a chord progression, scale, strum pattern, and a riff to create your own toolbox of jam essentials. This week we're going to be working on a new chord progression. If you'd like to see how these 4 parts work together, be sure to check out episode 1 and 2 in the description below. Let's go ahead and dive into today's progression though. This is a 1 flat 7 flat 6 5 progression in A minor, which sounds really complicated, but it's a really cool sound and actually pretty common. It's used in songs such as Stray Cat Strut, The Cat Came Back, Sunny, and the ukulele hit song Body Surfing. Today we're going to learn this progression in the key of A minor. To start, we're going to play our first chord. We're going to call this an A minor 7. And normally an A minor 7 is just played all open on a ukulele, which is great. But we're going to do a little bit more difficult one that I really like the sound of. We're going to start by taking our ring finger and placing on the 5th fret of the E string. Then our middle finger, place on the 4th fret of the C string. And then our index and place on the 3rd fret of the A string. So we have this 0, 4, 5, 3. It's sort of like a G minor chord just moved up, leaving the G string open. The next chord we're going to play is a G, and the way that we play a G, well, let's look at this A minor 7 for a moment. We're going to take this ring finger here on the E string. We're going to slide it down 2 frets to 3 on the E. Then we're going to flip-flop the other fingers. Index comes to 2 on the C, middle comes here to 2 on the A. Just like that. The next chord after this is going to be an F add 9. And the way we're going to play this F add 9 is we're going to just take our index finger, place it here on the 1st fret of the E string, leave the other strings all open. If you watched episode 1 of Ukulele Jam Kit, this chord might be really familiar because we've done it before, or episode 2 rather. It's one of my favorite chords on the ukulele because it only needs 1 finger. Yeah, it sounds so good. And the last chord we're going to play is called an E7. We're going to take that index finger, place on the 1st fret of the G string, middle finger here on the 2nd fret of the C string, and finally our ring finger here is going to go to the 2nd fret of the A string. So when we look at this is the last chord, but it's all about the switch back in. Whenever we're playing a chord progression, it's just as important to work on the transition between the last chord and the first chord as it is for any other 2 chords in it. So if we look at this middle finger here on the E7, it's going to slide up to 4 on the C, and we can rebuild our A minor 7, 0, 4, 5, 3. So you'll see that from the E7 to the A7, we just transition with that. So let's go ahead and try playing these chords. All that I'm going to do with my strumming hand here is I'm just going to down strum with my thumb 4 times just to help keep time on each chord. I'm going to practice making these switches. It's really important to notice where your sort of pivot points are, right? With the A minor 7 going to the G, your ring finger is going to be your important pivot point. Then as you go to the F add 9, it's no problem because it's just 1 finger. Go to the E7, everything sort of moves, but then your middle finger is that pivot point coming back to the A minor 7. So let's go ahead and try this. 4 strums on each chord. Should sound something like this. 2, 3, 4. A minor 7. G. F add 9. E7. Switch back to the A minor 7. G. F add 9 to the E7. So no problem, right? It's really cool to have those pivot points. Again, that ring finger goes from the A minor to the G. And then when you get to the E7, that middle finger slides back up to the A minor 7, which is great because this chord, the A minor 7, is easily the most difficult. So you have a nice transition out of it and you have a nice transition into it, which is pretty cool. Now, if you'd like to download a PDF that has all these chords as well as all of the other materials that we're going to be working on with this jam kit, please check out my Patreon page, which is linked in the description below. That you'll find all of the different things that we work on here at that site. So now that we've practiced it nice and slow, we can start to get ready to use some strum patterns and other parts, which we'll be working on in the next few episodes of Ukulele Jam Kit. So in next week, we're going to be working on an A minor scale and its relative major, which sounds scary, but I promise it's not. And from there, we'll be working on more parts to continue to build our toolkit of jam stuff for this Ukulele Jam Kit. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so that you can make sure that you catch the newest episode. I'll see you guys next week for the next Ukulele Jam Kit.